Howdy, everyone. Tad Stevens on the Micro Success Secrets podcast, where we focus on business, psychology, and marketing and how you can use that in your business daily and long term. Today, I'm talking with David Alto, who found his passion for helping others while learning and sharing on LinkedIn, which allowed him to leave his 9-to-5 job in December of 2019. He posts his daily resume and LinkedIn tips to 32,000 LinkedIn connections and followers. Right now, with hundreds of people applying for the same job, you need to ensure that your resume gets past those darn resume bots. That is his specialty. He's very passionate about sharing best practices and the ATS, or the applicant tracking system, aka resume bots, so that all talented individuals can land their dream job or career. David, how you doing? And take a minute, introduce yourself, and let me know if I missed anything.
Sure. Thank you for allowing me to be a guest on your podcast. No, you hit it. You hit it all right on, 100%. LinkedIn really allowed me to find and expand on my passions for helping and building others, because I was really using LinkedIn like most people do, right? I was worried about losing my job because of the company that I was with. And I started just allowing to learn and share on LinkedIn. And that's kind of how this all came to be. And, I'm happy to share anything and all of it today if need to.
Okay, well then let's get going. Let's roll right into it. Considering LinkedIn, your career, your life, I mean, really anything's fair game on this. If you could change anything in this progression, in this journey, first, would you change it? And if you would change it, what would you change it to?
Sure. So I remember I was doing my 9-to-5 job and still doing writing resumes on the side, doing some career coaching on the side, maybe 20 hours a week, working my day job, maybe 50 plus hours a week. Again, I was giving away a lot of free advice. And it wasn't until somebody actually said, "Hey, Dave, I really do need to pay you because you provided such great value." But
I love those people.
Well, that's because, okay, I was in my previous career off and on for about 18 years. I knew I was a subject matter expert. Why? Well, one, I've been doing it a long time, and you feel comfortable. Well, when you gain a new skill, sometimes you're not willing to pat yourself on the back, right? You're not. I suffered from what I found to be imposter syndrome, which really is, gaining maybe a new experience or a new skill, and you're just not willing to really embrace that and say, darn it, yes, even though maybe I've only learned this new skill or honed it over a short period of time, darn it, if other people see you as an expert, a subject matter expert, then you have the right, and you should, and I'm going to give you the right. I'm going to give it to you right now. I'm going to give you that right to allow yourself to embrace that, because until you do, I probably went about 4 or 5 months where maybe I probably could have started and left my job maybe a little bit earlier if I would have embraced that earlier. So that is my only, and I don't know if it's regret. I like going through that. I'm glad I went through that. But that was probably the one thing that, I probably could have left my day job a little bit earlier.
I hear that about half the time on the podcast here, is that, who we are is made from our previous experiences. So if we change them, then we're not going to be the same person or in the same place. And a lot of people really like where they are. So I get that. In kind of relating to that, if there was one super positive event in your life, in your career, in this journey again, and you look back at it and you say, wow, I can remember everything before it and everything after it.
Sure.
Do you have one of those points that you'd share?
Yes. A gentleman by the name of Corey Warfield and he probably gets tired of me saying this. So I was still, still working my 9-to-5 job, just beginning to really maybe charge people and for writing resumes and doing career coaching. And Corey Warfield, big influencer on LinkedIn, we were messaging each other and he says, well, let's chat. And I'm like, well, we're chatting right now. And he goes, no, let's get on the phone.
Yeah, let's talk.
And I'm like, how am I privileged to, get 15 minutes of his time? But he saw something. We had that conversation and he says, Dave, you don't need to stay doing what you're doing. With what you shared with me, I was volunteering at my local unemployment office, giving resume advice and LinkedIn tips. Mm-hmm. And, I'm not getting paid for that, but that was so much fun to see these individuals get so much value. And that felt good. I mean, it really, really felt good. And, he just, he allowed me just to kind of talk and vent for about 10 or 15 minutes. And it was really after that conversation, I just felt like everything was lifted off of me, that I could then again starting allowing me to say, hey, darn it, these people are seeing value in what you are giving. Embrace that value and embrace that, those skills and that you're offering and you're giving to others. Embrace it and allow you to, to really, get rid of that imposter syndrome. And that was in June of 2019. I remember that conversation just like it was yesterday.
Okay, super, excellent. And this kind of comes up, in people like us who are out there doing this kind of stuff, a creative component, putting things together, creating things that we haven't done or maybe even nobody's done before. I get stuck. And I hear a lot of people get stuck on, moving past a decision or, some type of change that you have to do to keep progressing. Do you have any methods, tips, ways that you go about getting unstuck that you'd share?
Sure. So when I left my, corporate job in December of 2019, but I didn't, I knew I could scale doing what I'm doing, but I didn't worry about, I think we get hung up on, I didn't worry about, my website really wasn't where I wanted it. Mm-hmm. I wasn't using a CRM, I was using a spreadsheet. Mm-hmm. But if I would have waited until every component was right, one, I would have spent too much money, but the most important one, I would have, how long, maybe I'd still be in my 9-to-5 job.
How long would you been there? Yeah.
You have to, if you have everything right, but sure you want this and want this. So really what I used the early part of 2024 was slowly introducing, now I have a website that I'm very proud of. I have tools to keep myself organized. But if you don't make that leap, you're always going to say, well, I'll do it when this. Okay, I'll do it when that. So that is you have to take a path. Standing just still. I would rather you take a path and the path not be right and you have to, but you got to take the path that starts your journey. And those other things, those will come to you. Other people will provide advice and guidance and hold your hand, especially just interacting with people on LinkedIn, all the tips and advice regarding everything that I have, my CRM, the different tools that I use, I got from the amazing people here on LinkedIn. So if you know your journey, please just take that path and don't worry about having everything right.
Keep moving forward. I love that. Absolutely. So, kind of looking at it all in one, if you had to start from scratch, the old question, if you had to start over, you had to start from scratch, what would you do? Would you still be doing what you're doing now, or what do you think?
No, I believe so. I knew that, so writing, 3 resumes a day on average, is tough. Some take a couple hours, some take a lot longer. And that's really tough. And it's really hard to scale unless I have a team of resume writers. So I knew that this was all just a start. And you know, now I got my first paid speaking gig last week. I'm starting it. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, somebody willing to pay me to talk and not
talk. That's
just
great.
Shut up, right? So, but again, you know, I always knew that this was a start, and I always say I am patiently aggressive, meaning I'm patient with. I know different things will change, but I'm aggressive about going about doing it. If that makes any sense. Sometimes to people it makes no sense. But again, I don't need to make $1 million a year today, or maybe even ever. But again, you just have to start. So again, you know, my business may evolve into doing other things, and I want to introduce some different things in 2021. But again, it's just starting, and this journey is so much fun. And it's fun because I have these amazing people on LinkedIn that are willing to uplift people and help people, asking nothing in return. And I love doing that same thing here on LinkedIn.
Super. Myself as well. I think that kind of giving back, besides benefiting me, I mean, because it helps me get out there, helps me talk, helps me relate and stay in touch with people, it keeps you moving forward, or it does me. And again, like you've said multiple times in multiple ways, you got to keep moving forward. If you're not moving forward, you're not moving forward, basically. So, okay, super. Really appreciate that. Thanks for taking the time. I want to wrap up here in just a little bit. Wanted to see, is there anything that you want to close with? Anything that you could offer or maybe put out there that might help the listeners, or they may want to take advantage of?
Sure. We'll just do this. I know we didn't talk much, really much about it, but my specialty, not besides writing you an amazing resume, is maybe you already have an amazing resume, but you're not getting, those jobs. So for your listeners, connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a message, and then, connect with me. And then I will be happy to scan your resume versus a job maybe that you've already applied for, you want to apply for. I'll give you those results. I'm going to share you the same tools I use. I'm going to give you those results so you can maybe see how you got to go about slowing down, looking at that job description, making sure that you have those hard skills and those keywords, those competencies in your resume so you can get past those evil, resume bots. So I'll do that for anyone that wants it. All you got to do is connect with me on LinkedIn, message me. I'll be happy to share that with them.
Super. And I'll make sure that we have your LinkedIn profile link in the show notes and in the description for anywhere that we post this. Any other contact information, website, we'll get that in there too. Again, David, thank you very, very much for taking the time and sharing all that today. And thanks everyone for listening. Really appreciate that as well. Have a safe and productive week and be the very best you can at whatever you are at. Until next time, this is Tad Stevens with Micro Success Secrets. Bye for now.